What is going on, everybody? My name is David, and today we are going to be looking at the Thunderstruck event and how you can be a really good pro at it, and how you can take advantage of the Thunderstruck event. And what we will be particularly looking at is the your base setup and strategy for attacking. And those are basically the main two things of the game, but whatever. First of all, we're gonna go over base tips first, and I'm just gonna tell you guys right now and to hit that like button and subscribe. If you did enjoy this video, please do so. It helps me out a ton. And now on with the video. So first thing you're gonna want to think about. So this is base tips, not necessarily copying this base down. You know, like, don't just do that. You can make your own good base. You don't have to copy this one. You can make your own custom one. So first of all, you're gonna have to keep things compact for the Thunderstruck event because as you can see, there's no sand, so you can't spread things out as much as you used to. And I know some people might think that the Thunderstruck event is not a big deal. Oh, they just added some effects and there's no sand, you know, whatever. But it actually does have a big deal, and I'm going to show you why. On my last video, I showed you guys my best Powerhole 9 best Powerhole 9 base, and this is what it looked like. But look how it looks right now without any sand. It is completely vulnerable. It loses everything. Like, I'm not even joking. These ground pounders will be like messed up, but I'd have to apply it to change that. But I'm just saying, just look at this. They could easily counter this. But with the sand, it's much harder because there's sand all the way over here in all these places and in the other side, and the troops split up. That's the main thing. If you put him here, they split up, but they could easily just put him right there and just destroy my whole base. That's why it's a big difference. Number 2, use tall buildings wisely. So use your tall buildings placement wisely. I didn't actually have it that good for this one. I'd probably make another one, and I'll probably post a video about that. But use your tall buildings, and what I mean by tall buildings is these like kind of big ones that aren't pirate hall, like the lighthouse, the guild hall, and the academy, you know, stuff like that, and the ships too. Because the reason you want to do this is because people are going to be using Sky Raiders more because they have an increase in power, and that's why you're going to have to try to block all the spots where they can fly in. And actually, I'm gonna go into the FAQ here. So right here, this right here shows exactly what's the difference between this and normal Plunder pirates. So decrease of hit points and walls and defenses. This is bad for your base. That's why it's harder to defend the bases when it's Thunderstruck. But there is an increase of power, so how much it deals damage. There's an increase of that, so that's a good for one. And increased damage done by Sky Raiders. This is another thing. Well, I already said that, but yeah, you can use this to your advantage by putting buildings in front of defenses, kind of having all your defenses cramped in one spot around a whole bunch of well, not all of them in one spot, but you know what I mean, like kind of a little bit spread out, but not too much, because you don't want to have them firing a lot, because they have more power than they used to, and that's why you're gonna have to think about that. And lastly, for the base tips, you're gonna have to think about where you put your walls. Walls are very important now because you don't have the sand that keeps them from coming straight onto your buildings and start wrecking stuff like you used to. Like, you have sand, and the sand they kind of act as barriers as well because they don't walk straight in, you know. All right. Well, that is my base tips that you can use. On with the attacking tips. First of all, use Sky Raiders, okay? You should already know this one, because Sky Raiders are very, very good. They can be used very nicely. They can go over ships and in the Legendary Fort and the Guild Hall, and you're going to be like, hold on, wait a minute, David. No, they can't. I've done that plenty of times, and they have fallen every time. Well, they can only work once the ship is sunken. Once the ship has sunken, like if you destroyed it, then they can fly over. And I could prove it to you. I could prove it to you. I'll do a battle at the end of this, at the end of my tips, and then I'll show you what I mean. So that's number one. Use Sky Raiders because they are a huge advantage to attacking. And number two, use Jugs for traps. So put Jugs and Juggernauts first, so they can sniff out the traps, because you're much closer to the traps now than you were with the sand, because they were more traveling more, and the Juggernauts could sense them from further away. But now the green, with the green here, you can't sense them. They can't. I mean, troops don't have a lot of time to travel, and if they come too close, they'll just blow up with the mines and everything. So you're gonna have to try putting Jugs first to try to sniff out the traps. Brutes for distractions, because brutes with their bring it on ability, they can distract mortars. Mortars is the biggest thing. Mortars. You're gonna try to distract mortars with brutes, and if you do that, then it's attacking the base becomes a whole lot easier. And it's easier now because there's no sand, so that they don't have to travel anywhere. Do a lot of farming, I'm telling you, because it's much easier to do farming because you're much closer to resources. And yeah, while you're doing farming, also use Sky Raiders. That's a good idea, because I actually do that and it works quite well, because I can take down a couple defenses and then I can send my thieves in to get some resources, which is works out pretty well, gotta say. And those are my tips for now. And actually, I find using Annabelle Laveau, I think that's how you say her name, Annabelle Laveau, when you're attacking, because she heals your troops, and that's kind of essential because the defenses are doing more damage. So if you can have that, then, and witch doctors, so you're gonna have to have doctors at this point, because they're more essential now because of the damage done by the defenses, the increase. So now we're going to do the the battle that I was promising, and we're just going to use 26 gunners, 3 brutes, Sky Raiders, bombers, 1 witch doctor. I only use 1 because 2 is extremely expensive. I do not want to waste that much grog. And I use 4 juggernauts. Alright, let's do this one. So first off, I'm just gonna take out all the outside stuff that I don't want my guys swimming afterwards to just go and get. I'll put up 1 here. And 1 right there. Okay. Also maybe 1 right there. Alright, so Let's put down our jugs first, see if there are any bombs. Put another one in. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Let's put them a little bit behind. Oh, whoops, I placed my boots on accident. Not right. Oh man, that inhaled them. And now look at the Sky Raider damage you are about to witness. Dang it, someone got hit. That is pretty good damage for 8 Sky Raiders. Not too bad, I gotta say. I almost took down that storage. With defenses attacking them. Where are the brutes? I want to know, so maybe I can deploy there. Oh, actually, there are no mortars. Literally, there's nothing to actually stop my guys. See? This is what I was talking about. Because you can easily take down defenses when they're distracted. And I put in heavy guys first, so then the little guys can take it out. It's a good strategy, and I almost always use it. And it works to my advantage. So. And I think we have this one in the bag. Oh no, there goes Qingxi. No, not Qingxi. We will avenge you, my lady. This one was quite easy.